Hey everybody, it's Hakeem here, back with some more Magic. I just did an entire recording. Played a control mirror against an Izzet deck that was running Young Pyromancer and managed to beat him in the end. But my wife was upstairs in our bedroom doing a workout, and at the end of the recording, you know, I replayed it to make sure it was alright, and all you could hear was her bouncing around on the floor. So I had to delete it. So you know, here we go. Looking at our opening hand here for Total Control, we got all our colors of mana, Early Shock, Ground Assault, Think Toys, Traumatic Visions, and we're on the play. So this looks really good. Our opponent, Stalona, has mulligan 6, so I really want to get blue and red into play on the first turn so I can untap with Shock, and then on the second turn, if I pick up a basic, I'll be able to do Think Twice or Traumatic Vision. So the only way for me to get blue and red on the first turn is to play Izzet Gate, so gonna do that and pass it over to Stalona, the Traveler. So the DLC finally dropped for Xbox 360 today, so I mean, I've got the Young Pyromancers in the pool now, Craterhoof, Shealdred, and all these sorts of things. I'm looking at a few decks already that I'm working on, so you know, hopefully we'll get some out to you soon. But for now, we're just going to stick to Total Control for the week, and I've got a deck planned for next week that actually the one I'm planning for next week, it does have one minor change that I made to it because of the DLC, so you'll see that in the tech on Friday. So our opponent started off with an Izzet Gate, and now he's playing Young Pyromancer, but he's playing him naked, so he could be playing like a variation of the Izzet Burn, you know, Kill and Fiend type strategy. So you know, we don't want to let him untap with that. I'm not going to show any cards until it's my turn, when the timer's not going and all that sort of thing, because Xbox just yanks all the cards away from me. So Pyromancer is just a, you know, is a Goblin Piker, 2/1 for 2 mana, but whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you get an elemental token. So I mean, he can get out of hand. He can get out of hand pretty fast. So you know, being able to kill him while my opponent was tapped out was pretty excellent. So right now I've got double blue, I've got single red. So what I want to play here is Jungle Shrine, because it's got the white and the green, just like the Citadel I already have in play. That way, if I pick up a Rockspore Monk, I can actually cast it by playing that there. So let's just do that, and we've got the Think Twice open. I don't need to cycle any visions yet, because I do have a land play for next turn. And let's see if Stalona, if he's playing, you know, a control deck, because I've actually slotted Young Pyromancer into my own Izzet control deck. But he, you know, I've also slotted him into the Izzet Burn, the aggressive deck. So you know, we don't know what kind of archetype he's playing based on Pyromancer alone. So picked up a Resounding Thunder, which is good. Picked up an Inspiration, which is good. So we're just going to play the Necropolis. We've got the Thunder open if he does something, you know, that we need to kill, and we've got to Think Twice in the graveyard to flash back if he doesn't. I don't have a land drop for next turn, so I may cycle a Visions rather than flash back to Think Twice. So he's on 4 mana here now. He could be playing a control deck. It's funny, the game that I won was against an Izzet control deck. It wasn't this guy though. So let's see. I'll just pick up blue mana, I suppose. I've got my white and green or mana. I've got double red, so I'll just go for more blue because that's where we're heaviest. So I'll just get that into play. So now we've got the counterspell online. We've got Inspiration if we need it. Resounding Thunder if he does something foolish. He could Inspiration here himself, but he doesn't. He doesn't. He just moves on up to 5, and he plays a Gutter Snipe. I'm not sure if I even want that thing to resolve personally, because he's got 2 mana open and he could trigger it a couple times. So he might counter my counter, but yeah, if he does that, his Gutter Snipe's going to be naked, and I'll just kill it, which is fine with me. So he's not going to get any triggers off it. So now we'll untap and pick up an Obelisk, which is pretty decent. Do I want to use Thunder or Ground Assault? I don't know. See, if he could be playing Inferno Titans and Stormwrath Dragons and bigger things like that. So I'm just going to hang on to the Ground Assault for now. I won't get to flash back my Think Twice. Whereas if I use the Ground Assault, I would. But I think I'm okay with not doing that and holding on to the Ground Assault a bit longer. So we'll see what else he's up to now. He's up to 6 mana. He could be playing Charmbreaker Devils. I play that in my Izzet control deck, and it's an all-star over there. So picked up a Think Twice, so I actually think I'm going to main phase this, because I'll still have the one in the graveyard plus the Ground Assault open. Make sure I've got green and red, yeah, so just main phase the Think Twice, see if I can hit my land drop for turn. And we picked it up, yeah, which is excellent. It was basic, which means that if he doesn't do anything now, I can Inspiration. So let's see what he does on 6, and if he's up to 7, Still nothing, so I'm gonna go for 2 more cards here. And pick up a Banefire, which is excellent in the, you know, what is now obviously a control mirror. I'm not going to go tapping out for an Obelisk here now. And I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I don't have any counter spells, but he doesn't know that, and I've got a few Think Twices in the graveyard, so I think that I'm just going to sit on those and try to outdraw him. He's only got 4 cards in his hand. And down to 3. He's up to 8, so we're going to draw 2 more cards here. There's 1. And there's 2. So I think the plan is the Resounding Thunder in the Banefire plan. There's a War Monk. He may spend a counterspell on that. And I've got a Dissolve. So, and I've got a Kozilek. So I think I'm just going to throw out the War Monk and see if he has a counterspell. I may counter his counter because with me gaining life it's pretty huge. He doesn't counter it though. So maybe he's only playing negates or something like that, but you know, he could bounce it here, I suppose. Maybe that's what he's going to do. I don't mind a Vapor Snag, you know, that doesn't bother me. Yeah, I want to keep my Dissolve open. I mean, he's only delaying me, he's not doing a whole much other than delaying me. So he's down to 2 cards in his hand, but he's up to 9 mana. Do I want to do, I mean, I don't want to just cast Resounding Thunder. I've got nothing in the graveyard, so just a waste of a turn, you know, in a sense. So I get to put another land in play and run the War Monk out there again. See if he counters it this time. Yeah, he's going to dissolve it, which is fine. I'm good with that. I'm alright with him dissolving that. You know, I've got the Obelisk now, and then I can protect that with Dissolve. If I stick an Obelisk, he pretty much can't beat me. And I think I've got 9 mana. Fairly certain I've got 9. So now he's playing a Talrand, so he's got 1 card left in his hand. If it's a counterspell, then I'll just Thunder it next turn. But I can't let that land. Absolutely, he cannot have a Talrand. So I'll take another War Monk off the top. Sure, why not? Yes, why not? So he definitely doesn't have a counterspell because he would have countered that Dissolve. So do I have 9 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Not that it really matters because I don't have the Dissolve protection anymore. So there's an Obelisk in play, which is going to be pretty good. It's just going to be pretty good. So let's see what he does. 9 mana for him. He could play a land and go Kozilek. He's just going to play an Electromancer. So I'm going to kill that without spending a card. Just going to use the black mode on Obelisk here. And kill that. And like you say, in a control mirror like this, with him being on 1 card in hand, it's going to be pretty tough for him to come back. So I got the cycling on the Thunder here now. Got that available. So I'm probably going to do that at the end of the turn, and then use the Obelisk a few times and beat him with the Banefire. So let's cycle the Thunder. Point it at Stellona. I don't know why it defaults to pointing at me. It just doesn't make any sense. So then we get to deal 6 to him and draw a card, which is a Visions and a Ground Assault. So we can just cast Kozilek here. I may even do that. I mean, I haven't got to annihilate anybody, and I did get annihilated myself last night, so this, I mean, this isn't the best line of play right here. Nah, I'm just going to play a War Monk. I mean, I really wanted to jam the Kozilek there. So he's going to nullify the War Monk. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the nullifying the War Monk. I got my own counterspell up now in case he has a Kozilek of his own, and then I'm just going to start aiming the Obelisk at him for 3 every turn until he's in Banefire range. He's on 2 cards. He plays another Electromancer. So I guess, I mean, he's still only got the 1 card in hand. He doesn't, that cost reduction isn't doing a whole lot for him. So I'm gonna aim at him for 2. Try to bring this game to conclusion here now. Count up my mana. I have 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I use an activation on the Obelisk, it'll get him to 8, and I can Banefire for X equals 7, so I'm 1 point shy. 1 point shy, so I think I will just put a War Monk down and see if he's got the counterspell for that. He doesn't. And just pass the turn, and he's going to Vapor Snag my dude, so now he's out of cards. That's fine. You know, I don't mind the bounce. Now he's got one card. See if he's going to play a land. If it is a land, he should sandbag it and at least make me worry. So I'm just going to kill that. Actually, no. I'm going to point 3 damage at him because I get the Banefire. I don't think he's going to have any life gain in these colors, unless he, you know, his one card in hand is Elixir and he drops it and pops it. So we'll see. I can take the 2 there. He's down to 8. And I guess I'm just going to have the old Banefire for 9. Pointed straight at Stallona. And there it is. Yeah, this deck, the uncounterable burn, you know, does a lot in the control mirror, so I really like that. So yeah, I guess I'll try to get into another game here now. Try to get into another game. Ranked. See if there's anybody in the custom lobby here. Same guy. I don't want to show the same guy. No offense to you, Stallona. So I'll just create a lobby here now. So with the DLC, I've gone back over all my best decks, probably my top 10, and I've had a look at them, see if there's anything in there that I wanted to change. Most of them added a card, maybe 2. I mean, there are Sheoldred went into basically all my black decks that could afford to cast him. You know, he's pretty insane. I've got a Jund deck that he's in. He went into my Abzan deck. He went into my Spider deck. I built a discard-based Dimir deck. He's in there. You know, he went into a whole bunch. And I was shagging around today with the black-white heroic list. I put in a few vampires. I started off testing that new 1-drop vampire. He wasn't very good, but the other one, the Calastria Highborn, I think her name is, the one where you get to pay black mana when a vampire dies and shock the opponent. That was pretty good in the heroic shell because I'm using Bloodghast over there, and the other 2 drop Child of Night. Plus I've got Devouring Swarm that lets me sacrifice them on demand. So I mean, Hero of Eros, Johnny's Primate, and Tormented Hero. It was a pretty decent deck, I gotta say. I'm still working on it, but I think it's got a bit of potential. And here we are in game number 2 of episode. What is this? Episode 6 now. I think we're on episode 6 on the play, and we do not have any white or green mana, and we've got this. But I can cycle for one of them, you know. So I'm actually going to keep theirs. The mana is pretty decent. I can cycle for one color, then I just need to pick up the other one, which I mean, it could happen next turn or the turn after. So I'm fairly confident in this one. Playing against Lifelong Incubus. He's playing 60 cards, starting off with what is this? Is Young Pyromancer just enticing everybody to play Izzet here today? So I will drop my second blue source. I'm going to cycle for Plains. And then we can go dig him with the Think Twice and try and get some type of green mana and get this War Monk on the battlefield. So, is there a Pyromancer? No, he's just going to main phase the Think Twice, which I think is pretty strange. You know, I mean, there's no reason not to do that on your own turn. Unless you're trying to hit a land drop later in the game or something. But right there on the second turn, you know, there's no real reason to main phase that and let me know you're tapped out. So there's the white mana. I'll just put that into play. And now we've got to Think Twice up. And let's see what he's doing. So I mean, is this 2 Izzet control decks in a row? I mean, and the other game, the recording that got I won't say ruined, but interrupted by my wife's working out upstairs was also an Izzet control deck. So I don't know. Like I say, maybe it's just Young Pyromancer has just got into everybody's brains and they just want to jam him in Izzet. I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening here. Just gonna throw a shock at my face. You know, I'm pretty okay with that, I suppose, right now at this stage of the game. I'm okay for now. Got a lot of mana. I'm going to hit my drops up through number 7. He's taking his Think Twice and he's going to main phase it. You know. I guess he was digging for a land. I mean, you know, that's a possibility. And if that's the case, then I can get behind that. But anyways, I'm going to pick up a card here. Hopefully get some... Yeah, there we go. That's a green source of mana, so we'll put this into play tapped, and next turn we can finally cast this guy. That's, you know, sometimes you can't get him out exactly on curve. You know, sometimes you're a bit late. This deck was a bit later than usual, but I kept the hand without any green or white mana. So he's playing a Phantasmal Dragon. That's interesting. Hopefully I'll pick up a shock and kill it for 1 mana. No, man, I tell you, I'm on the mana flood train here now. I've got 10 lands out of my top 15 cards. which is you know, a little bit excessive. But I've got another War Monk, so I'm going to play that because it's really good. And then I'm going to play a Mountain, and I've got that Think Twice in the graveyard that I can flash back. So he's going to be hitting me for 5 in the air, but I'm going to be able to swing back for 3 on the ground and gain 3 life. So I'm going to net 2 damage off that dragon. So I really hope I pick up a shock. Show you that the dragon, if it becomes a spell or a target of any spell or any ability, it just gets sacrificed. So it's not too difficult to kill. And he doesn't seem like, you know, it has any synergy with the rest of his deck if he's playing control. He can't protect it with counter spells. There's another land. Wow, I'm telling you, this is just... So there's a Banefire. I don't really like the idea of having that guy swinging at me for 5 every single turn, so I'll probably just Banefire for 0 and enforce him. So he's just going to make me bounce that, which is okay, I guess. I mean, down to 12 now, but yeah, I'll just take Banefire for X equals 0 and point it at there. Now it's a target, so it's gone, and I killed it for only 1 mana. So let's just, he's only got 1 blue mana open, so he can't counter this. And I'll drop a Sanctum in play, and, you know, as long as he doesn't kill me, I've got enough mana to cast Kozilek. It's just going to take 3 more turns. And he's going to have to deal with that War Monk and another one on the next turn, so... Stormbreath Dragon is a bit of a pain. He's going to take me down to... I wonder if he's playing that new 8 mana Hellkite, and that's why he's playing the Phantasmal Dragons. That could be a thing. It's an 8 mana 6/6, but whenever a dragon you control attacks, you get a 6/6 dragon token. So he could be playing Dragon deck, but oh man, the mana flood in this one is really bad. I've got 7 on the battlefield, 5 in hand, so that's 12 out of my top 19. Is that bad? Feels bad. I'm going to cast another Monk, so now we've got 6 life gain to kind of mitigate that Stormbreath Dragon a little bit. And I've still got 2 more turns before I can cast the Kozilek and hopefully draw myself out of this flood. Yeah, he needs 7 mana before he can use Monstrosity on this. Yeah, he's putting another dragon into play. So, you know, he's playing the dragon deck, I guess. Maybe he's trying to build around that card. So that'd be a pretty interesting idea. You know, I can't really swing into that 5/5 because damaging it is not quite the same. Oh man, oh man. Well, I've got to swing at it and let him block it because that's the only way that I don't die. I think I'm probably just dead because I can't draw. All I need is a shock to kill that thing. Anyways, just put a gate in play. If I don't swing here, then he gets in over the top for 9 and I'm dead. So I got to swing and let him block one of them. And I'm going to go to 13. And still not looking good. It's still not looking good at all. Not at all. So, I mean, I had to do that just to gain life. Wow. I mean, how many spells did I see? I got some Think Twices in the graveyard. 2 of them. Plus, anyways, there's not a lot of spells that I saw. Sometimes it happens, I guess. I mean, you know. If I could pick up a shock here now. I'm still dead to the... no, I'm not dead to the Stormbreath Dragon. If I can pick up some type of targeted removal to get rid of that other dragon. Another land. This is insane. Well, I'm dead. Because I can't block the 2 dragons. I can gain 3 life. Go up to 7, but they're dealing 9 to me. Wow. Just wow. I mean, if I pick up 4 land off this and counter lash, well, that's funny. I wonder if he's going to put that Hellkite in play. That'd be funny if he got that in there. Not Siege Dragon, but he is playing the dragon deck, which is interesting. It's really interesting, but anyway, you know, sometimes you just draw. And the 4 cards I drew Kozilek back, which doesn't matter because I'm tapped out and my opponent's just going to kill me next turn. So I'll throw Kozilek just to shuffle him back in. Anyways, that's that game. So wow, yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with the way that one ended. And here's this guy, like, I'm completely tapped out, all my mana, all my creatures, and this guy's doing this. So that sort of thing annoys me. So I'm going to go ahead and just concede out of here, because people like that are, you know, douchebags as far as I'm concerned. If I had open mana, if I had cards in hand, yes, by all means play your hand, but you know, otherwise you're just dicking me around. So yeah, the expansion is pretty exciting. You know, I'm looking forward to getting around to incorporating those cards into all my decks and building some new ones. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the games, and we'll see you for the final episode of Total Control tomorrow.